Welcome to another exciting episode of Everyday Christian. It's currently 11 p.m. at night. Shh, the kids are sleeping, so I gotta be quiet. I was reading to my daughter this one story before going to bed, and it's a story that for me really kind of struck a chord that I wanted to share it with all of you. I mean, there are times that I'm sure over here I'll be sharing with you children's stories, and this is one of those times where I really wanted to share with you this one story. Because again, over here in Everyday Christian, what we do is we get things that we look at every day, like for all you parents out there, children's stories, and look at them from a very Christian perspective and just think about it and think, do I relate to this as a Christian? And so I really wanted to share this with you because it really encouraged me. So if these are the kind of things you like, please make sure you take time to like and subscribe. Shh, do it quietly, please, because the kids are asleep. So don't smash the subscribe button too loud. Keep it quiet. Anyway, so the story is about, the story is called Where Are You? It's called Where Are You? It's an Iz and Norb book by Jonathan Sunday. It's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful story. It's about two characters, one named Iz, one named Norb. And basically the story starts out with them asking each other, "Where are you?" And they're taking time going through all these really great rhymes and really wacky situations, saying where they are, what they are doing, and it's just outright fun. But then something happens in the story. What happens is, well, I won't tell you because that would be spoilers. But I'm gonna spoil the ending anyway for you. Again, sorry about the microphone being here and me not wearing my glasses. It is really late at night, so shh, you have to be quiet. And that's why we have the microphone really, really close up. I don't know if this actually makes it sound better. But anyway, going back, spoilers for those who don't want to know how the book ends. But basically, something bad happens to Iz after doing all these different things. So something bad happens to Iz, and Iz needs time alone. And I love it because even if Norb is best friends with Iz, Norb realizes that Iz needs that time alone. When Iz has enough time alone after the bad thing happens, Norb reaches out and Norb encourages Iz and shares this thing to Iz. Norb says, "If the here where you are isn't the where that you want, don't sit where you are feeling glum on your bum. Get up and start working to change where you're from. 'Cause bruises and gooses and fears and excuses can't stop you from living the life that you choose is." And I really love that because Norb gives Iz time to process, gives time for Iz to go through just being hurt and feeling bad about what happened. But Norb does not abandon Iz. Norb still goes to Iz and spends time with Iz. And even gives Iz this wonderful, wonderful speech, right? Where Norb says, "If the here where you are isn't the where that you want, don't sit where you are feeling glum on your bum. Get up and start working to change where you're from." And that's the thing. Wait, let's finish it. He says, "Because bruises and gooses and fears and excuses can't stop you from living the life that you choose is." It's such a nice eye-opening response for me of what does it mean to be a friend to somebody. When someone needs encouragement, when someone feels bad, they had a bad day, you don't just leave them alone. You leave them alone for the time that they need it, and you're ready to come in and lift them up and encourage them, using your words to lift them up and help them to know that they will be okay. Helping them realize that just sitting there isn't going to help, but you inspire them to get up and keep moving. It's like Bluey. I don't know if you know Bluey. Bluey is this wonderful Australian cartoon about, they're all what do you call humanoid dogs? Humanoid, is that right? It's like anthropomorphic, something like that. Anyway, Bluey, look it up. But there's this one great episode of Bluey where the mom is talking to her daughter and explaining to her what to do when something bad happens. She tells her, you give yourself time to cry, then you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and then the show must go on. And I know there's a lot of people who go through really hard things and they might say that's oversimplification. Yeah, it is kind of oversimplification, but the idea here is you help others with what they are going through. You are there for them. You give them the time that they need. I love that episode of Bluey because Bingo tells her mom, I can only get through the cry part. And her mom tells her, that's okay. The whole like dusting off part and the show must go on. She's like, you can do that later on. If you're at the cry part, that's fine too. I love the parenting that we see in Bluey. But anyway, we're talking about Iz and Norb right now. And I just wanted us to think as Christians, how do we use our words? I talk about this a lot here on this channel, about the importance of encouraging other people, using our words to touch other people's lives and help them to know that God loves them. The world beats everyone down constantly. We look at stuff online and it seems that everyone is walking on, they're all tiptoeing, walking on thin ice, being very careful with what they say, while at the same time saying, I need to say my real self. People want real emotions, but at the same time, you have to be very, very careful of what you say. And sometimes we find that balance to be hard as Christians. But I love how Jesus said that the greatest commandment is to love God and love other people. That means it's what we do. It's so easy for us to get caught up in other things. Holiness is very important. But holiness starts with loving God and loving others. Following God, doing all the different things in the Bible. We get so caught up in those things that we forget that it starts first with truly loving God and loving others. And Jesus even took that a step further by saying that you love the way that I have loved you. When we look at how Jesus loved, we realize that is how we need to love others. That's how we love God. That's how we love others. We see how Jesus did it. And we need to be like that too. And in this Iz and Norb book, it just reminded me of that we're there for other people. It would be so great if Christians were known to be people who love others in ways that are so unusual than the world, that are so above what the world does. Christians, my brothers, my sisters, we need to be able to help others understand what God's love is like, and that means loving in ways that are above and beyond what other people think is capable, what love is capable of. I love how Jesus says that if you love only those who love you, what difference is there between you and other people? What difference between you and the Gentiles? If all you do is love those who like you, love those who are like you, love those who love you, we should love our enemies. We should love the people that are different than us. It can be very hard to do, but that's why Jesus keeps telling us over and over again the importance of love, and more importantly, Jesus showed us that what love is, that he died for us while we were still sinners. Jesus did not die for us when we were perfect. Jesus did not die for only the good people, quote unquote good people. Jesus did not die for the people who love God. It says while we were still sinners, that is when Jesus died for us. Unconditional love. Are we willing to use our words, speak words of life, of truth, words of love? Not just love and encouragement and kindness of the world, but love that is like Jesus. Love that reflects Jesus. Don't hold back those words, but actually tell people when you have something on the tip of your tongue that you want to encourage them, you want to tell them, hey, you made me smile today. Are you going to say that to them? Are you going to hold it back? Think of someone that you need to encourage, just like how Norb encouraged Iz in the story. How Norb reached out to Iz and encouraged Iz. Is there someone that you need to be a Norb to an Iz? You should be a Norb too. And more importantly, of course, as Christians, is there someone that you need to be Jesus to? Keep on loving God, keep on loving others, and keep on being a Christian every day. Love first, guys.